expound on that. And also, this will also be equal to 4 by x times x. But here, this is the simplified version of these two identities. These are all equal to each other. Here, 4 is a factor one time and x is a factor twice. You see, x to the power of 2 means x is a factor 2 times. Now, remember when I showed you we had a equals b plus c. Now, if we want to find c, let's say find c. We're going to have to add a negative b to both sides. And that's going to give us a minus b equals c. Now we found c. Let's say we want to find b. We're going to add a negative c to both sides. Because c is positive, we're going to add its opposite to both sides of the equation. C plus a negative c, that's 0, it canceled out. So b equals a minus c. In relation to the given equation. Now I already showed you how to work with additives. Now here, BC, let's say we still want to find B. Now the order to find this is, first, you have to remove all the other additives on this side of the equation. We're trying to get to B. We want to find B. So we have to remove D, and then we have to remove C and move them to the other side of the equation. Now the correct way of doing this, but first I'm going to show you the incorrect way. Now I'll show you the correct way first. First, we remove our additives. B and C both are additives. You can move this to the other side of the equation also, but it's not necessary. For example, you would have, if you added a negative BC, you would have A minus BC equals D. Okay? But we want to move D. We want to move D and keep B on this side of the equation. So we add a negative D to both sides of the equation. That's going to give you 0 on the right side and add it to the BC. So here BC equals A minus D. Now, here, BC is equal to B times C. Okay, so B and C are factors. They are not additive. These are factors. So you're going to have to multiply something to both sides of the equation, or divide both sides of the equation by something. See? What we do here is we multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of the variable that we're trying to get rid of, that we're trying to move. Remember I showed you the reciprocal of a number, if you should take notes. So remember the reciprocal of C equals 1 over C. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 1 over C. Why? And why is because here A minus D equals BC over 1. So you remember I showed you anything can be written as itself over 1. So for just as I showed you with fractions, just as fractions have a numerator and a denominator, you should know that the entire left and right side, on the left side of the equation, the entire left side of the equation has a numerator and a denominator. The denominator is always 1. You see, the denominator is always 1 for each side of the equation. The numerator is what it is. The numerator is just what you wrote. But the denominator to the left side of an equation, the right side of the equation, is both 1. For anyone watching my program or my videos, it's good that you pay attention to what I teach you and to how I teach it in the order I teach it in, without jumping ahead of yourself and thinking that I'm not giving you what you need. Sometimes you get confused because maybe it's because you're not taking notes, or it's because you're looking for something, you're expecting to see something else. But what I'm showing you is how the general public should be taught, which you're not taught in the schools. Now, being that we have this now, we multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of C, which is 1 over C. So I multiply both sides of the equation by 1 over C. And please, in your notes, please skip another line and write that all over again, then multiply by 1 over C. Multiply both sides of the equation. Now what you're going to get is A minus D over C equals BC over C. In which case the C's cancel out. And you have A minus D over C equals B. And we found B. And we're still going to, I'm leading up to talking about numbers in this form. We have to lead up to it. You cannot skip in mathematics. Now here I want to discuss, I left off earlier, we're going to do, for example, let's say if we have A times A times the addition of an A and B, meaning we have the same term being multiplied. Now here I want to discuss, I left off earlier, we're going to do, for example, let's say if we have A times A times the addition of an A and B, meaning we have the same term being multiplied into to itself when it's an instance of an addition. So here we multiply A by A and A by B.